Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Soulja Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show, we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Okay, so I know you guys see the title of this video, right? The title of this video is Has the Army Gotten Soft? And we're going to get into that. Make sure you guys stay tuned to this video. Okay, you guys, so has the Army gotten soft? Okay, so before we get into the video, guys, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel. If you got any ideas for future episodes, make sure you guys let me know. You can follow me on all social media platforms. I know you can see it down below. Okay, so we're gonna get into the video, right? Has the Army gotten soft? It's a number of ways that I feel the Army has gotten soft over time, and the first thing is just basically talking to soldiers, right? Uh talking to soldiers. Soldiers are starting to take things personal. Like you can't say things, you gotta pay attention to how you talking to soldiers. You know what I mean? They cannot take constructive criticism. I'm not saying all soldiers, but it's a lot of soldiers that can't take constructive criticism, and they take things personal. Uh that's a factor that plays a part in how I think the army has gotten soft. You know what I mean? Just not having not having thick skin. You know what I mean? A NCO or a peer or might can't even raise their voice, without a soldier or them feeling some type of way and want to go to EO or IG or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh that's the first thing how I feel like the army's got soft. So the second thing is uh the PT, right? I'm not saying we don't do PT, because we do PT. Uh but I feel like it's some units that I feel like can take it a little more serious. You know what I'm saying? You have units that don't even you got units that don't do formation every day. You got units that don't do PT every day. Uh, and this is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? We should take PT serious. Uh, I'm just gonna give you guys an example. So me, I'm in an infantry battalion, right? So I'm not gonna lie, my I was anxious about coming down here. I'm like, man, I'm about to be in an infantry battalion. Like, I know the PT is finna be crazy. I know I'm about to be like, man, I know we finna get it in. So I got down here, and unfortunately, it wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of upset about that. Like, I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I was expecting to be throwing up for PT. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was expecting, but it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset about that too. I'm kind of upset about that. But yeah, PT is another thing of how I feel like the army has gotten soft, man. We don't where you know what I mean? Like I'm used to every Friday or every other Friday going on a brigade run, going on a battalion run. You know what I'm saying? Where I can see my leaders and I can see my superiors out setting the pace up front. You know what I'm saying? I can see my first sergeant, I can see my commander, I can see my command sergeant major, my battalion commander out in front leading a run. You know what I'm saying? These things that motivate me as a soldier, like, and I ain't seen that in a minute. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know down in the comment section, like, what unit still do this type stuff? What unit still has You know what I mean? These brigade, these runs where these company runs where the first sergeant is leading us. You know what I'm saying? And you got senior NCOs who's calling cadences. You know what I mean? They might call a cadence that you probably never even heard. You know what I mean? But it got you motivated. You know what I'm saying? Uh these things I ain't seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing I want to get into is just the basic efficiency, being efficient with our weapons. So I feel like the army has gotten soft to where like we can't, our soldiers don't even know how to use an M4. You know what I mean? They know how to use it, but it's like they need to be more familiar with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do these type of trainings a lot. You know, we barely go. I'm not gonna say we barely go to the range, but we don't go to the range as much as we should. And then they wonder why soldiers can't shoot. And then they wonder why soldiers don't know how to do basic things like uh if they have a malfunction with their weapon as they firing, they don't know what to do. You know, you can't blame soldiers for not knowing what to do when we barely go to the range. You know what I'm saying? When we go to the range, you got soldiers when they have a malfunction on their weapon, they looking back at the safety officer like, come help. You know what I mean? They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? They don't know. We don't drill things like sports or function check into their heads. You know what I'm saying? We don't just simple thing like sports, you know what I mean? Slap, pull, observe, release, tap, fire. What's fire, I think. You know, just a basic thing like sports, you know what I'm saying? To correct a malfunction on your weapon. Uh I mean squeeze, my bad. Last one was squeeze. So uh yeah, like stuff like that. So and then it should be mandatory, like to have the same weapon the whole time, the entire time that you are in that unit. You know, it's not good when we have to zero our weapons every time we go to the range. Every time we go to the range, we shouldn't have to zero our weapon every time. You should just grab your weapon, go qualify with it because you already zero with it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's not good when we got to zero our weapon. You know what I'm saying? Say we got to get up and go somewhere and get and deploy tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The weapon should already be good. If you ask me, you know what I mean? It should already be zeroed in. You should have your specific weapon, your weapon card. If that weapon go missing, it's your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it's your responsibility, but yeah, in the way it is, it should be. Um, and yeah, so that was the third thing where I feel like the army has gotten soft over time, right? It's the weapons, you know. The third thing was that the third thing? So the next thing is I feel like we should train as we fight. So uh I know a lot of you guys say, what do you mean by train as we fight? So for example, like in basic training, we had the Nick at Night, where it was basically like a simulation of like combat fire to where we actually was in the training to where we had the low crawl with equipment on in this situation. You know what I mean? It should be other. I feel like we don't have other things, other simulations like that. You know what I mean? Do we don't have simulations set up to where what if we have to do these things in severe weather conditions? You know what I mean? We don't have that. You know what I mean? Uh we do CLS training, you know what I mean? We do CLS training, we go to the field, but we don't have training specifically designed for severe weather conditions. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you can do a. I know you can do. I know you can qualify with your weapon in the dry in on a sunny day, but can you qualify with it when it's thundering and raining outside? You know what I mean? Can you still shoot those targets when it's raining outside? Can you still perform? CLS, drenched, soaking wet. You know what I mean? These type of trainings that we need to do, or need to we need to do more of. I'm not saying there's units that don't do it, but we should do more of like simulated trainings to where we should be training how we fight, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be caught off guard with these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and the last thing I want to get at you guys is the uh enlisting requirements. I feel like the army had gotten soft when it comes to enlisting requirements. Uh, I'm just gonna give you guys an example for it's like so today, right? I was well not today, but I was trying to do accountability for my platoon. So it was this one soldier was like he had just I haven't seen him before. Like the day prior, I didn't see him. So when I seen him that morning, I asked him, I was like, where was you at last? Where was you at yesterday? And he couldn't even tell me. You know why? Because he didn't speak English. You know what I'm saying? Another soldier was like, he don't even speak English. So like, why are we letting soldiers in the army who they don't even speak English? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel like the enlistment requirements have declined. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we letting I'm not gonna say we letting anybody in the army, but like we have lowered our standards. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like the army got soft, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, I know it's a lot of more ways and things that you guys can contribute and let me know how else has the army has gotten soft over time. These are just a couple of how I feel. You know what I'm saying? The you know what I mean, the weapons, the PT, the enlisting standards, and how we even talk to soldiers. You know what I mean? Watching how we talk to soldiers. You know what I mean? And being able to train as we fight. You know what I mean? We don't train as we fight as much as we should. And that's everything I wanted to get it today with you guys, man. Uh this has been another episode of Soldiers Talk the Podcast, and I see you guys in formation.